The man Uncle Red had gone to see was more than a gunsmith. He was, Uncle Red said, an old-world craftsman, a sort of wizard of weapons. He confirmed the high-grade silver content of my crucifix and Marty's medallion, melted them down, and molded them into a silver bullet.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for This Shite. This week's show we're going to be discussing probably one of my favourite werewolf movies. Is it your favourite werewolf movie too?
Probably is.
Really?
Well, there's a lot of shit
There's
a lot of shit werewolf films.
Yeah, but we're going to be talking about Stephen King's Silver Bullet, or based on the book Sapphire by Precious. But yeah, it's based on the short novella, which I suppose a novella is short in itself, isn't it? So
yes, that's a
Cycles of
redundancy.
the Werewolf, which was something I desperately wanted when I was young, because like the artwork in it was done by Bernie Wrightson. People who weren't familiar with him, just look him up. He was like involved with DC and Marvel in the early years, well, like in the 70s, the 80s. I'm convinced he did a lot of Swamp Thing, but like some of his famous artwork and be like DC, as in kind of like say Scream and fucking, or well, horror kind of stuff. But he did one of his most famous kind of ink stuff would be Frankenstein, the modern day Prometheus.
Yeah.
Which pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
But it was originally done to be, I think it was a calendar. They wanted to do a Stephen King calendar. So say Stephen King was meant to write like a book,
Okay.
a story following the 12 pictures
Okay.
in a calendar format.
So was it like Frankenstein just like, hey guys,
No,
posing?
Silver Bullet. I might have been originally when they were doing it. Yeah. And but you're after throwing me off.
So Cycles of the Werewolf, was it like, did he have a bicycle?
Yeah, bicycles of the werewolf, yes. They're very big with Stephen Roach and Sean
yes,
Kelly.
yeah,
And the
he's
Calvita crowd, yeah.
yes.
And people who drink Sidona love it.
Yeah, and only Irish people would probably get those
And
very dated
probably only
references.
certain old Irish people will get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Silver Bullet, based on that book,
Yes.
which came from a calendar. Basically, yeah.
Okay.
And as always, there's going to be like a lot of spoilers for
a
this
film from
40-year-old
1985.
movie. Yeah. But yeah, Silver Bullet, it was directed by Dan Attais. It was his only movie that he directed. He went on and directed
first
like,
and
a million
only.
TV shows. Afterwards.
Actually, yeah, you told me to go off and look up. My God, you weren't joking. Like
Yeah.
The Wire and Sopranos.
Yeah, Always
Jesus,
Sunny.
yeah.
He wrote a book on how to direct TV shows and how to make TV shows.
Well, holy
as well.
fuck,
He
he
was so
definitely
prolific,
was.
like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as if this guy didn't do anything. Like there's a lot of movies we cover where it's like, oh, they're only filmed because it was so bad that they got hunted out of Hollywood.
But yes, this guy just basically went off and got involved in every fucking high profile TV series that was forevermore afterwards.
It's directed really, really well. I don't think. I don't know. You can't really find any fault in the directing of it. It was written by Stephen King, as in the screenplay was done by Stephen King. It was bandied around between different people to write it, and Don Coscarelli was initially involved.
Yeah.
And
Phantasm.
yeah, there was like creative differences, as there seems to be the case with Don Coscarelli, but apparently Dino DeLorean just was like fairly difficult, and Coscarelli was like, I don't want to be dealing with this shit, so he just walked.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it was written by, and ended up being like the screenplay by Stephen King, which you can kind of tell it has. To me, it feels like It or Stand By Me.
Yeah, it has
because
that
it
vibe.
starts off with a narration from the older sister, and Corey Haim is in it. It's probably the main. Corey Haim and Gary Busey are the biggest stars in it.
Yeah.
Everett Mills, I think, is the name of the guy who plays the priest. I will just check that.
Do that, yes. But yeah.
Everett McGill. Was plays the priest, who was
Spoilers!
spoiler, big werewolf in it as well. Terry O'Quinn is it, who I would know. He was in Lost, and he's also, he's been in like tons of things, but I'd know best for being Peter in Millennium.
Yes.
With
Oh,
Frank
and
Black.
he also directed Lost as well. Your man.
Oh,
director.
did he?
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything he didn't fucking direct.
Yeah.
In fairness. But yeah, so what for me? I think I discovered it probably around 87 when the Lost Boys came out, and I kind of discovered the Coreys became a thing.
Yes.
Because Corey Haim was in it, and I instantly loved it. Now, one thing I do think Corey Haim is actually brilliant in it, especially for like a young guy.
Very young
He's
actor.
very believable.
Yeah.
So he plays. Yeah, I suppose before I get into it, for people who
Do the
aren't
plot.
familiar or need a quick reminder, the plot is this small town. There's people being killed. Like in the book, it was once a month, and this I think they kind of rush it for some reason instead of having it over a year. But people are being killed fairly regularly. There's a kid in a wheelchair, Corey Haim. Marty, that's the name of the character. The story is being narrated by, he said, this is a really, really bad plot synopsis. But yet there's werewolf killing people.
Yeah, there's
fucking
a young
the kid
brother
in the
and a
wheelchair.
sister,
figures
basically.
out who the werewolf is. It turns out to be a priest who's kind of into it. And they get help from the mad uncle, which is Gary Busey, and they just kill the werewolf. And then it finishes with them going, I love you.
That's a really bad synopsis.
Yeah, it sounds awful. But it's, if you were to describe The Crow as well, or a lot of really, really
well, if
good
you were to
films,
describe any film, you in particular, if you were to describe the film, it just sounds awful, because I think you're just like wonderful at ruining films.
Yes, I kind of am getting to that. That seems to be one of my talents lately.
Yes, exactly.
But it's just a simple story. It's a very kind of like, werewolf killing people. This is what you're going to do. I think
it's all the hallmarks are your usual Stephen King kind of a thing, where it's all the parishioners are kind of banding together. They're all like, oh, I gotta get this big evil, and they're all getting kind of frothed up by like the religious fervour.
There's more sinister things than the monster going on. It's like in Salem's Lot, like all the people are all up to grubby, kind of like having affairs and kind of like doing bad things.
Yeah.
And it's the same in this, and the priest is kind of killing people. Do you think that maybe they confess stuff, or he knows stuff about him that they're kind of like doing? Like he kills one woman who's about to kill herself. And
his rationale is like, well, he's after saving her from the eternal damnation of hell because she was going to commit suicide, which is a terrible mortal sin. So he's kind of convincing himself.
Whereas like in the 80s in particular, and I don't know if there was a comic probably late 70s called Werewolf by Night. And I think there was a TV show in the 80s called Werewolf, and I think it was based on Werewolf by Night, but it was one of these things that was always like the person was reluctant to be a werewolf, so they were like, oh, chain me up at night, like I don't want to kill people. Whereas he's kind of into it, so that was like,
he's like, I'm off to kill again, and I'm keeping all the bodies in here kind of thing,
and even when he's a human, he's like,
it's a bit creepy.
When he finds out that like the kid knows that he's the werewolf, he tries to kill him.
Yes,
and stuff,
just outright killing like a child in a wheelchair.
And when the police detective goes to investigate, when there's reports of, oh, maybe he kills Terry O'Quinn.
Yeah, without any remorse.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, well, you know my secret. I better not tell anyone then.
Yeah, so it's not like... So you kind of go, oh, well... And there's no explanation in it as well as how he became a werewolf or...
You kind of don't need it, really, I
No,
suppose.
you don't need it. But you know the way a lot of times there's like, oh, he was out hunting and he got bitten by a wolf and now he's this and that. And it just seems to be... It just started. He was a werewolf and started killing people. Well, maybe as it goes on, he gets a little bit more into it, or he gets a little bit more bestial and starts
enjoying it a bit more, I suppose. Leaning into the whole wolfy situation.
And like, I mean, the thing is, it's based on 12 kills, 12 pictures of murder by a werewolf, which was like the initial premise for it. And it's like, I've seen this, I don't know how many times I've seen this, but for some reason, it only occurred to me looking at it this time around, I was like, this is fucking really gory for the time. And even by today's standards, the special effects aren't like great enough, but it does start off with someone being decapitated by a werewolf.
Yeah.
The werewolf effects, they're not like fucking
American Werewolf
in London.
No, they're not
or
that
even
level.
Howling.
Or even Teen Wolf.
Yeah, but the guy who did it was the guy who did the special effects for one of the King Kong films. I think in the 70s.
But I was going to say the 1931 one.
Yeah,
Jesus, a bit of an old guy.
But this guy, he was like an Academy Award winner, so you think that they might be a little bit better. Like now they're all right, but I think it's one of these weird ones where it was probably. Oh god, like all these werewolf movies I think were made around the same time, so it's like after American Werewolf in London, people were like, oh fuck, we gotta get like good transformations.
Gotta get our shit together,
with it.
Yeah, it was a bit chunky, a bit hokey, a bit cheesy.
The werewolf is more like, I think, the classic Universal werewolf look to it, where it's not like the big long nose. Like
it's not proper like doggy looking kind of thing. Yeah,
it's like that man.
It's like I'm very hirsute.
Yeah, it's like Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
a bit. There's a great bit where like all the townsfolk, the Reverend is having a dream. He's at a funeral when they're talking about private justice.
Yeah,
and they all turn into werewolves. And
I'd say that must have been. I said it at the time. That must have been so much fun to shoot because they basically all just start like tearing everything apart.
It's kind of unintentionally hilarious. Well, especially because like the organist, she's playing away and she kind of starts hamming it up. And
she kind of turns around and it's almost like it's that kind of thriller thing where that pose and it's like, I'm a werewolf now.
But as I was saying, the deaths in it are really good, and there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's fucking awful lot of people get killed. There's one of the ones I think which seems to be the goriest or the worst, but you don't actually see it happen at all, is when Grady, I think is the name of the kid that gets killed. He's like the best friend of Marty in it. And they're out like playing kites, and Marty's sister comes and picks him up, and then like it goes back to like later in the night time, and it's just like Terry O'Quinn walking along with a kite covered in blood. And he's like, oh, and the father comes along and he's like, where is he? Where is he? And he goes over and he's like, whoa!
And that poor father is like horrifically traumatized for the rest of the film.
He's not like up there with Tony Collette like in Hereditary.
No, not quite. Down. No, but he is just like properly, like he acts like how you'd expect the father of a horribly mutilated and killed child to act. Everyone else is kind of like, oh, come on. And he's like, my son was ripped to shreds. Yeah. Like, oh my God, can you not understand this?
You to tell me about private justice?
Yes.
Like, then of course the town get together and they're like, oh, we're going to go hunting for it, because they think it's a lunatic. They think it's a maniac that's doing it by the full moon.
Yes, and in fact, where does the word lunatic come from? Luna, moon.
Yes, oh, very good.
Yes.
Everyone knows that one. Everyone.
Yes.
So
alright.
So uncool.
Yeah, bet you didn't though.
No, I didn't. But yeah, it's the fucking there's, who else is in it is Lawrence Tierney, who plays like Big Joe, is it, in Reservoir Dogs? That's the character.
I can't remember. He's not. I should be able to, because I used to love Reservoir Dogs.
He was like a notorious drunk and like a tough guy, and there was like people go on a bit like, oh my God, I can't believe Kanye West is doing this today. I'm not fucking saying Kanye West is alright, but some of the fucking shit that people were getting up, like openly getting up to back in the day, and people were like, oh yeah, he's my favourite actor. Like all those fucking like oh God, I can't, but like they'd show up on TV shows like just hammered. Oh, I can't fucking think of his name.
Your man Oliver
Reed, yeah. And even the guy who played Robin Hood, Earl Flynn, he was meant to be like a horrific piece of shit. I think there was like even talk that he could have been involved with the Black Dahlia murder and all this stuff. You know, there was a lot of fucking
they were raconteurs and characters and yes.
Yeah, but that's why people are just a character, like. But like, I mean, these people, they wouldn't fucking.
Peter O'Toole, all of that kind of stuff, where they're like, oh, look at them, they're hilariously drunk.
Peter O'Toole, for fucking Supergirl, Peter O'Toole plays Supergirl's uncle.
Zoltar, is it?
I can't remember it, but he is fucking hammered in it. Like, there was things that about, like, they had a nightmare with him, and I think he was like freaking out and busting up the place and stuff. But like a lot of these, Marlon Brando, another one. Whereas I think when he was another one in fucking Superman, when he was like playing Superman thing, he was like, I picture myself being like a bagel stuck in a lunchbox in space. It was like, fucking what? Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, Lawrence Tierney,
I'm just stuck actually. Sorry, I'm just back with the whole Zoltar thing. I'm like, was that the name of the fucking your man out of Big? The fucking
that was the thing. Yeah, but I think it might have been Zoltar. Might have been the name of the guy.
I know. I'm just thinking about how inappropriate Big was as well, because he was like a kid and
Your
he had
woman
a
was
grown-up
basically a
girlfriend.
paedophile, but she was an unknowing paedophile.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was kept on kind of like trying to sleep in the bed with me, and he was like, "No, he'll sleep in a bunk bed." And I was like, "Thank fucking God, Jesus."
And at the end, then she's just like, oh.
Yeah.
She's probably following him around. Like, you don't.
You're waiting for him to grow back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, never mind.
But Lawrence Tierney.
Yes, let's go back to that.
I would imagine because he played a barman in this, and his baseball bat keeps popping up in it, which I think is quite funny, because the werewolf seems to really like using the baseball bat. It kills a couple of people with it.
Yes.
And then he holds on to it, and that's how kind of like people figure out. Marty's sister figures out.
She's collecting up all the recyclable bottles and cans, and he has this horrendously filthy fucking hoarder shed where he has all the recyclables in.
Like, it's like an animal's fucking den.
Yeah, it smells of
He's probably
animals.
pissing in there, like marketing
territory.
And shitting on like a piece of newspaper. Like having to clean it up himself. Shit outside. Why will I shit outside?
Not housebroken yet then, obviously.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But we're just kind of jumping all over the place with this, because it's a discussion, and it's
exactly. It's
but
just
you liked it.
I did. I liked it a lot, because it was like, I enjoyed every manic little bit of it, because it was like fucking Gary Busey was the perfect drunk uncle.
Yeah, he kind of comes across as maybe he might have been method acting a bit. Yeah.
Well, it was. I mean, like, it was like somebody just basically went, "Hey, Gary Busey, would you like to be Gary Busey in this film? And by the way, here's some like 2 kids that you can just like be Gary Busey with." He's like, "Fucking yeah!" And that was just basically, I read as well, like, it was like, try and guess which one of his lines are ad-libbed, because most of them were.
Yeah, I read something along the lines of that he was like
he was just being him in the film, so it's just like whatever you see there is just like Gary Busey.
There's a song that I don't ever remember. It was just like it's like racist, but it's not like fucking horrifically. Well, it is, right? But like he just starts singing it, and he was like, "Shit on the Indian, shit on the Mexican, shit on the fucking," and you're just like, What? And then the mother was like, "Go to bed," like to the kid. It's just like what the
where has this come from? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was bad enough that the kid was basically driving around in like this motorized wheelchair in the first place anyway. But then like Gary Busey was like, "Hey, come here, I'm just going to build you this fucking like hot rod motorbike, basically fucking souped up engine." It's like, "Here you go." And he was like, "Yay!" You know, Corey Haim was off tearing around town in this thing. And I was like, it's faster than my car now, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have the child already is like semi-paralyzed. He already has lost the use of his legs. It's like, are you trying to fucking cripple him entirely and like make him into a quadriplegic or fucking kill him outright?
I think there was something like that said in it as well. I mean, there's a couple of fucking, like, I have written down some of the lines where I was like, oh my god, it's just when you were saying about and it was like, there was like fucking, he's Marty's girlfriend from school. Like, they were all a bit like, oh my god, I can't believe someone got killed in the town at the start of it, so he kind of escorts her back home. And her father is like a horrible drunk who ends up getting killed as well, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, well he
deserves it.
Yeah, it doesn't kind of say it in the film, but in the book it kind of gets to it where it's like, oh, he's like abusing his daughter and stuff.
Lovely.
It's kind of implied, you know.
There's a lot of that in Stephen King books.
Yeah, but there's a bit where it's like when he's there and like he sees him with the daughter and he's got, "Oh, cripples should be electrocuted." Yeah,
just out of the blue. Yeah,
and he was like, he'll end up on welfare for life. And
it's like he's kind of like randomly just like ranting, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose a precursor for all the old maggots.
Yeah, I think it's to kind of go like, so you don't have sympathy for him when he gets killed.
It's like, here's this piece of shit over here. Like, yeah, this is his internal.
Because
thoughts.
It does. Some of them you're kind of like, oh yeah, and then I think it kind of builds up where you kind of go, oh well, maybe these people that are getting killed,
maybe the priest has a point.
Yeah, and then you kind of go, oh no, he just wants to kill everyone.
Yeah,
he's just like mad. But as well, yeah, like, there was a bit where, like, before the werewolf kills him, the werewolf goes out, like, busted up his fucking greenhouse. And he's like, oh, you bust up my pots, I'll bust up your ass.
Yeah, it's like,
what does it even mean?
Yeah. Rephrase, please. Yeah.
But then there's loads of great lines in it. Like that.
Yes, maybe don't speak them aloud, though, nowadays. But, I mean, you see, the thing is, this is the kind of film where if you're watching it as a kid, you're like, yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, this is what I want to do. And then as an adult, you're looking at it and you're kind of like, how
what you want to do as a werewolf? Killing people?
Yes, of course, that's what I mean. No, you look at Corey Haim and you're like, yeah, that's brilliant. And like, you know, fucking, again, cool like, Uncle Gary gives him like loads of fireworks because the fair gets cancelled. And he's like, oh no, the fair got cancelled because everyone is dying. And even the sister is kind of like, oh, poor little...
Yeah, the sister really is a victim in it.
Yeah, like, she's kind of like, oh no, he's whinging because like he didn't get his way again because everyone got killed and the fair got cancelled. They're like, shut up, Meg.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like, oh, it's not about you. And she's like, it's always about Marty. And like, even at the start of it, she's like, after getting like a new outfit.
She gets bullied horrendously and gets pushed into a muddy puddle and all the rest, you know. It's just, she's horrendously fucking...
Yeah, and the parents are, even after all that, the parents are like, don't forget your brother. Get him. And it's like, what would you get him out of the car?
Yeah, exactly. She's just like their unpaid skivvy, but I suppose that's the way it was in the 50s, back in Stephen King's.
It wasn't set in the 50s, it was like meant to be set in the 70s.
Yeah, I suppose.
And
but
then the film was meant to be set in the 70s, but they didn't bother having anything from the 70s in it.
But it was like, that was the thing, it was like fucking the whole time it was like cool from the point of view of a child, but like horrendous from the point of view of an adult, because like I said, the uncle built this like basically a hot rod fucking tricycle for the child to be driving around in, and then he was like, oh no, right, you've missed the fair and you've missed all the fireworks. I've got some fireworks that I'm going to give you, and you can sneak off in the middle of the night in your hot rod and set it off by yourself.
That would have been like the 70s and the 80s, probably a bit of the 90s as well.
Possibly,
like, I mean, like, in a weird kind of, I would have been a little bit like Gary Busey as an uncle towards my nephew.
You would have been, you still are.
Yeah, which, it's like, that's just what uncles are like.
Drunkles.
Yeah.
Not responsible. There was
plenty of times where I try getting that kid drinking.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. I suppose I do remember.
Like, I don't like the taste of beer.
I was like, what's wrong with you?
You're fucking 18.
You should be off the beer at this stage after giving it up for being an alcoholic and having had your first relapse at this stage. But yeah, I suppose remembering back to when I was a kid, there would have been plenty of like the local sort of fathers or uncles around. They would have had all the Halloween stuff on like that, where they would have like scared the shit out of you and abandoned you in a graveyard and fucking set off fireworks and, you know, did a lot of irresponsible shit at that stage as well. So yeah, I suppose it was very representative of the 70s and the 80s.
There's still a bit of it nowadays. Probably not as much. But
you see, nowadays it'd be like, oh no, it's the undesirables are doing that. It wasn't just like everybody.
Yes. But like cast.
But that's how, I suppose, the reason I was mentioning the fireworks thing is that's how like it transpires that Marty finds out who the werewolf is.
Yeah, by blasting him in the head.
Yeah. Rephrase that again. Yeah, he's setting off his fireworks, and again it's like he goes to a bridge and he sets him off on a bridge, and it's like, if they land back on the bridge, you're in trouble as well, because it was a wooden bridge.
You kind of worry too much and
overthink things too much. I do a bit. I was a bit of a worry as a child and still as an adult. But the werewolf then starts creeping around and he's like, oh no, and he basically shoots a rocket and it takes his eye out.
Yeah.
Then he's going around. He ropes the poor sister into going around town, check and see whose eye is hurt the next day, and it's the priest. The priest is wearing an eye patch.
Well, you see, this is the thing, because of the way it's shot, and apparently this was from De Laurentiis wanted it shot like that. He wanted it all condensed, because in the book it's over a year, and I think it makes more sense to have it over a year. Whereas with this, it was all like, it seemed kind of like, well, he just seems to randomly turn into a fucking werewolf
every night.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's like that. It's like nearly the next night she goes, and it's like, it doesn't feel like it should have been like maybe a week or 2 weeks late. It's just all a little bit, like, I mean, it doesn't really affect the movie, good, bad, or indifferent, but I think because I like it so much, I would have liked to seen it longer, maybe. And as well, because we're looking at an interview with the Vampire TV series as well at the moment, that the way it's like it's very much like the books, but it's like the film I think is great, but then you get it like, you get like a fucking 18 hour movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is great, you know, kind of like all the
you can really sink into it,
like, Whereas with something like this, it would maybe 2 hours, I think. Although I think maybe the hour and a half is the sweet spot for it, because if it
you could end
it's
up
welcome,
complaining about it,
but
it kind of
short and sweet.
It veers between, I suppose, the tone of it as well. It's kind of like it goes for like sort of park comedy when all the townsfolk are out hunting the werewolf, and then they all start getting like killed in horrible ways, but like it's somehow like hilarious as well because they all just get like torn down into the fog.
Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be, but it's like that Stephen King thing as well, isn't it? Where like there's some of Stephen King's violence stuff is kind of comic booky and so you don't, maybe it was meant to be. Because like even the bit with like the werewolf killing someone with a baseball.
That's what I mean. It was hilarious. It was kind of like, it was like Todd, and then it was like he just kept hitting him and hitting him.
And it's like you can see the baseball bat was called Peacemaker.
Yeah, and it starts getting splintered the more he starts hitting him. Like But again, I suppose let's go back around. We're talking about how good Corey Haim of an actor he was, because he was playing a child in a wheelchair. And like I remember, like he sneaks out of his house basically. He climbs out of his bedroom window and lowers himself down kind of the trellis outside. And like for a child actor to be able to do that, like I mean, he obviously had somebody had either like taught him or he'd studied up or something like that. But it was just like perfect. He was
like, I mean, this is the thing with, like, I mean, it's well known now about fucking child actors just getting chewed up and destroyed by in Hollywood, like, but poor Corey Haim, like, he was fucking, like, Corey Feldman always alleges that it kind of started when Charlie Sheen allegedly raped him on the set of some movie, and then kind of like he just got like, obviously, you know, dealing with like fucking Corey Feldman. So like I talked about Corey Feldman's book before, like it's well worth a read. The audio book, if you want to laugh, because it's like, I mean, it's horrific stuff, but it's
Corey Feldman acts out every voice, doesn't he?
Yeah, so it's like when he's doing his mom, he's like, Corey, you piece of shit. And he's like, oh my mom, and you're just like, oh my god,
this is terrible and traumatic.
If you're reading it, I'm sure you kind of go, oh my god, it's terrible. But like when you're hearing him doing all the voices, it's kind of comical. But yeah, Corey Haim, like he was a really, really talented guy. And just things just went against him, like, and it's when you see him like when he's young and things like this, and Lost Boys and License to Drive and stuff, you kind of go, fucking hell, he could have been a great
he already was a great actor as a kid. He could have had a great career, a fantastic long-lived career as well ahead of him, you know. And it is, you know, it's tinged with sadness looking back, I suppose, on him. You know,
and it's like you compare to like the likes of, say, Kirsten Dunst, who probably seemed to have like good parents and that guided her well and kept her away from all the fucking
throwing
but like, I mean, sure, she's like fantastic. People like, we're going to talk about Civil War, amazing movie, like really, really good. She's brilliant in it as well. But yeah, poor Corey Haim.
Exactly.
But saying that as well about it, that's what I think why, like, it nearly has a similar fucking plot structure as Lost Boys, and a lot of Stephen King, where it's like, oh, kids find out about like this evil shit is going on, no one believes the kids,
none of the adults believe them, they're trying to deal with themselves,
they're trying to the kids are the ones that end up like
solving the problem for the town,
and dealing with it. So it's that's what makes it so appealing to children.
Because as a kids, and I think it probably appeals to children so far as kids are living in their own little world, I suppose, where parents or adults in general don't really sort of give a shit about what's going on. And it feels like they do have to deal with all these big problems by themselves, and no one like wants to listen to them or wants to hear them, so they're like dealing with these,
I think it's because
life-changing issues for them.
Adults have like a romanticized view of what it was like being a kid, and then, like, I mean, and then I think when you are a kid as well, you're like half living in a fucking fantasy world, because your brain is like developing, so like sometimes like fairy tales can be real, so you know, there's a lot of stuff fucking going on, weird shit. You're more open to believing in things than you are as an adult.
Oh sure, I can fully remember like being terrified at school, because there was like, in Ireland there's a lot of little Martello towers and like half crumbling castles and stuff like that, and I can remember there was like this half crumbled castle up on the hill behind our school, and somebody went, oh, there's a vampire living up there, and everyone was like, what is there? And they were like, oh yeah, he flies out at like tea time and he comes down and he fucking bites everyone, and we were like, ah, fucking, we were locked in. Yeah, we were locked in our classroom, and the teacher couldn't get us to open the classroom door. We got in fierce trouble for it.
That's the thing about Ireland, because Ireland, it's kind of like it. Especially when in the 80s, it was like on the verge of modernity, but you've still got like.
I still had all the banshee stories castles, from your grandfather, you know.
But like in the scenery around, like you were saying, like
there's still ruins and crumbles.
There was like a castle down the road from us that was good, and these aren't like, we're not talking about like fucking tourist spots or like, this is just like in the fucking countryside. Just
there's like cows grazing around it kind of thing. It's just been left to crumble, and people are like,
there's a lot of kind of
castle,
gothic
whatever
structures and stuff that like when you're a kid you kind of go, fuck, there could be like living skeletons in there. Like I grew up right across the road from a graveyard. Like it was
and
a fucking
you did actually find bones as well.
Yeah, but and like, so zombie films used to freak me out in particular because I was like, if that happens, I'm fucked. Like, you're just right across the, you know,
from a very, very big.
You're going to be like one of the first people dead. You're going to be like in bed, and you're going to be like, oh, what's that breaking down the door? And so
but it is. It's so easy as a kid to just sort of buy into it. You know. So yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the fantastic thing that Stephen King does, and like, I mean, there's so many of these books like it, like we were saying, and it does have the same structure as it. And like, I don't know, it's just a thing that's built up, and it works so well, like.
That's what I have to say, I fucking love Gary Busey in it, because he's not the kind of the wild Gary Busey of today. He's back in the where you kind of
it's just before Lethal Weapon.
And it was like, everyone did have an uncle or an older brother that was like that, where he was absolutely stone fucking bonkers, he was the one who would like slip you like a cigarette, or he'd bring you out for a joyride, or he was the cool uncle that you really looked up to, and you were like, oh,
and kind of a decent person as well. And I think that's the thing with Gary Busey, there's always like, I know there's been accusations against him as well, and like, I think people were saying, look, he's fucking disinhibited because he's got brain damage with certain things, but he always kind of carried himself as a believably decent person. You know, there was just always something kind of nice about him, and then that kind of origin like insanity. When it's like in Lethal Weapon, even he comes across as a believable killer, but I don't know. I just always like,
he'd be a nice guy while he's killing you.
Yeah.
But in this, it's just everyone knows that one guy. It's like that fucking your mental brother.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where you're just like, oh my god, he's riling the kids up again, kind of thing, and you're like, oh my god, will you just simmer him down? Jesus Christ, stop leading him astray. Like, I mean, you were that for a long time for your niece and nephews and all the rest. Do you know what I mean? So everyone has that one, as I said, the drunk older brother, the drunk uncle,
and I'm left as a normal child.
Yes, and you're still the drunk uncle. Own. Yes, exactly. But the bad influence, but at the same time, he'd be the one person that would come to your defence and would always stand up for you and defend you and sort of be there for you when like your parents are sort of, you know, like coming down on you or whatever. It's like, no, fucking leave them forge their own path, kind of a thing, you know. So I quite like that.
Yeah.
That character.
One last thing I say about the film as well. One of the great things about it, I think the soundtrack is amazing, and it's a very understated soundtrack. Even the start of it, it's got that like a nostalgic feel to it, kind of like that feels like the 60s or 70s or something, but like it feels like an old thing, and then it kind of very easily swerves into like sinister grounds with it, and it's just really good, like, and it's utilized a lot. But yeah, I love and then it comes up again at the end, where it kind of like goes from when they kill the guy and he turns into a human when he's a werewolf. The ending happens so quick.
Well, it just, as you said, like, we were watching it there the other night, and you're like, I think they just didn't know how to finish it.
Yeah. Because
they're all just like terrified and panned out and like sweaty and panting after killing the werewolf, and then they're just kind of like, I love you, sister, I love you, brother, and then it was like, the end.
See, I think as well, it's one of these things that I don't know how Stephen King feels about it, if it's something that he likes, but there's nearly elements of the Dark Tower in it as well, where there's a bit where they go off to get the silver bullet made, and it's like, oh, Uncle fucking said that. this guy was like a craftsman from another time, and he like nearly as if he had like some magical abilities to him.
Yeah.
And even when Gary Busey said, he's like, "Oh, why you silver bullet, strange thing to be getting," and he's like, "Oh, it's just he's into the fucking the Lone Ranger," and then the guy is kind of werewolf.
Yeah.
So you know, it seemed like that could have been elaborated on.
Yeah,
It would have been like, you know,
there's
room
a whole
for,
world around it, kind of a thing. Yeah.
That, like, you know, there's that whole thing that maybe there was that stuff going on in Stephen King's head. But yeah, look, our dinner is nearly ready.
So you want to wrap it up? So you're getting hungry.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this up. But yeah, look, we say it every episode.
Happy Halloween.
Yes.
No, we don't say that.
This is our Halloween one,
yes.
And it's like, go and look at Cinder Bullet. For me, it's a great. We look at it every now and again. It's just a great movie.
Especially
it's
around
after
spooky season.
It's after enduring 40 years.
Yeah.
Like when we were in the 80s, that would have been like a movie from the 40s. I couldn't picture looking at a fucking movie from the 40s.
No,
even like
there.
fucking in the 50s.
10 years later.
Whereas this, it's just like it's after endure, and it's probably large part Stephen King and then Donna Tace and the cast. It's just a perfect movie. I think a perfect Halloween movie.
Yeah.
So if you haven't looked at it in a
kids.
while, go and look at it again. And look.
Go and enjoy.
Yeah, leave an out comment if you've gotten this far, telling us that we're full of shit. Go fuck ourselves. And we'll be back next week talking about the TV series for Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
So there you go.